Part 2 of lesson 5.3 is going to continue showing us different ways to find slope-intercept form. So we're going to start with what equation in slope-intercept form represents the line that passes through these 2 points. This is where we left off yesterday. So remember that our slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b with with m being your slope and b being your y-intercept. Okay, this time neither one of our points gives away the y-intercept, so we're going to have to start by finding slope. Okay, first thing we're going to do is find slope with our slope equation. Okay, so I'm going to label these x1, y1, x2, y2, and then I'm going to plug it into my equation. Negative 8 minus 1 over 5 minus 2 gives me a negative 9 over 3, which is really just a negative 3 for a slope. Then I'm going to have to pick one of the points that they gave me to plug in to figure out what my y-intercept is. So I'm going to start with that first in ordered pair, 2, 1, and I'm going to plug it in. So the y is 1, my slope is negative 3, the x is 2, and I don't know what b is because that's what I'm looking for. So 1 is equal to negative 6 plus b. I'm going to have to add 6. So then I find out that 7 is my y-intercept. And then I can write my equation with my slope and my y-intercept. Y equals negative 3x plus 7. Okay, try the same thing. This would be a great place to pause it and try it on your own. What equation in slope-intercept form represents the line that passes through the points 3, negative 2, and 1, negative 3? First, find your slope. Then you pick one of those points, plug it in to find your y-intercept. Pause it here, try it on your own, come back, see if you get the same answer as me. All right, hopefully you got the same answer as me. Y equals 1/2 x minus 3.5. Okay, moving on. They're asking us now, they're going to give us the equation. They're asking us to actually find the graph of it. So there's a couple things we can do. We can either make a table, or we can plot the y-intercept and then use the slope to get the next point. In my opinion, the easiest is to plot the y-intercept and use the slope to get the rest of the points, but we can do both. All right, so I'm going to start by finding my slope and my y-intercept. My slope in this case is 2. My y-intercept is negative 1. So my first point has to go at negative 1 on the y-axis, since that's my y-intercept. Then my slope, because it's 2, is really 2 over 1. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1. That'll be my next point. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Now, I ran out of room, so that's as far as I can go that way. But if I want to finish my graph the other direction, I can do the opposite. I can go down 2 and back 1. That's going to be my line. Now, if you wanted to make a table, you would get to pick your own points. I'm going to go with negative 2, 0, and positive 2 because I don't have a lot of space, but I want to make sure that I have a negative 0 and a positive. If I plug a negative 2 in for this x, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Minus 1 is negative 5. So I should be able to go back 2, down 5, and that gets me this point right here. So I got it. Okay, then if I plug in a 0, I will get negative 1. So I go over 0, down 1. That gets me this point. If I plug in a positive 2, that gets me 3. So I should be able to go up 2 over 3. And that would get me to this point. Over 2, up 3. Right there. All right, so either way, you'll get the same graph, whichever way you prefer. Okay, let's do one more of those. Move this over here so we have some more room. My y-intercept is 4. My slope is negative 3 over 1. So I'm going to start by putting a dot on the y-intercept at positive 4. Then I'm going to go down 3 to the right 1, down 3 to the right 1, down 3 to the right 1. That got me all the way across my graph. Make sure you put arrows because this would go on forever if we had time for that. All right, this one doesn't have a y-intercept. Okay, if there is no y-intercept, that's because it crosses the y-axis at 0, and we just don't write plus 0. So that means I get to put my first point at 0, 0. Then my slope is negative 1 over 2, so I go down 1 to the right 2. Down 1 to the right 2. Okay, now if I want to finish the other direction, I have to go up 1 to the left 2. Draw my arrows. All right. Water pressure can be measured in atmospheres. Use the info in the diagram to write an equation that models the pressure y at depth of x meters. What graph models the pressure? Okay, so at 0 meters, the pressure is at 1 atom. The pressure increases by 1/10 of an atom per meter. Okay, so this right here is your slope. This is what it's changing by every time, and this is where it starts. Okay, so we have an equation of y equals 0.1x plus 1. Okay, so we would start at 1, and we'd only be able to go up 1/10 for every 1 meter, which is going to be really, really slight, but it's going to grow, something like that. What is an equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through these 2 points? This is all review here, so I'd like it if you could pause, answer these 2 questions, and then come on back and check your answers. And this will be the end. I'll let you work on your assignment after this. All right, hopefully you got y equals negative 4x minus 2 and a graph that looks something like this. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Otherwise, you can finish page 310, 8 through 48 evens, 45 through 50, 60, 65 through 67, and the rest of the lesson.